Maalagaan ang ating kalusugan. Tumulong na at inyong pakinggan. Mga payong pang-serbisyo, mahalagang kaalaman. Siguradong matututunan ninyo. Itanong natin kay Doc. Itanong natin kay Doc. Andito para sa inyo, laging handang tumulong. Kaya-kaya yan, sa amin ang sagot. Say mo, Doc. Say mo, Doc.
Good morning sa inyong lahat, mga kapuso. We are here for another episode of the newest health and wellness program on GMA News TV. Say mo, Doc.
At kung nabitin sila, Miss Susan, dun sa ating diskusyon last week, ngayon po tiyak na magugustuhan ninyo ang aming episode.
Dahil ngayon umaga po, ang tatalakayin naman namin ay ang concerns ng mga kabataan.
Correct.
Well, dahil sa ating programa ngayong umaga, Ana, we are going to promise, di ba, our televiewers a 30 minutes fun-filled and very informative. And of course, with all the wonderful insights about medical issues.
Correct.
At saka, sa tulong ng mga experts natin na ating kakapanayamin,
Aba, hey, words yun, nakapay. Ano yun, Miss Susan?
Okay, yung mimimit natin.
Oh, mimit
Okay,
natin.
Sige na nga. Sige na. I'm trying hard.
Papayamanin, ganon?
Oo. So we will make all the medical issues as simple as ABC po.
Yes, and speaking of health and wellness at mga kabataan, we just discovered the place. Itong place na kung nasan tayo ngayon. Na perfect for the whole family.
Alam mo ba kung nasaan tayo ngayon?
Saan?
Nandito tayo sa mga sinasabi nilang world class.
World class nga to, Tita
Ang
Mami.
pangalan nito, Nurture Wellness
Village.
Village.
Oh.
It's a village, not just a spa.
Tama.
Correct.
At nandito lang to sa ating a few minutes or a little bit over an hour away from Manila sa Tagaytay po. So,
Ganda na weather.
You
Nurture
know that
Village.
ito'y kabilang sa 7 top spas of the world.
Yes, at inendorso ito ng Miss Susan at Tita Maggie, ng Department of Tourism.
Dapat lang.
Oo. What's more, this heavenly place is PWD friendly. Kapartner din ito ng Retirement and Healthcare Coalition, isa sa mga zero carbon resorts ng Pilipinas. At sila ay mayroon Certificate of Excellence from abroad.
High class talaga.
High class.
Pero ang pinakagusto ko po dito ay yung kanilang ecotherapy or healing through nature. Joining us today is no less than the president of Nurture Wellness Village, Miss Catherine Brillantes Terville.
We're really a story of serendipity. This started out as a hideaway. I was going through a difficult phase in my life, and when you go through a difficult phase, actually very specifically a divorce, right?
Okay.
You need to find yourself. You need a place to be quiet. And
Reconstruct yourself.
exactly. So I came here. I'm from Baguio.
Oh, I am from Baguio.
Exactly. I came from Baguio and I sought the solitude and the peace of nature, basically. So I came here and then started it without really any business plan. And then it was a spa, because when you talk about a spa is a haven. And at the time, I didn't even know it was a spa. Frankly, it was just a concept. And then we were very lucky because at that time, that was when destination spas were being introduced. So we were among the 3 destination spas first, which came out in the Philippines. And then, it was based primarily on major philosophies of one. We had to be Filipino, proudly Filipino.
Yes.
And then number 2, it was all about wellness prevention. And number 3, it's all about being the best that you can be, even when you're going through a difficult time.
Come on over, experience the true Filipino hospitality from the heart with a smile. You can enjoy the trees and the plants. Just come on over to Nurture Wellness Village. Thank you very much. See you soon.
Naku, Susan, ang galing ng exploration niya kanina, di ba? I can't wait to explore it myself.
Hindi nga tayo sinama eh.
Oo nga.
Pero totoo yan, Tita Maggie. Pero bago natin ituloy yung usapan na yan, alamin po natin ang problemang kinakaharap ng ating mga kabataan through the help of DSWD. Sa pagbabalik ng Say Mo Doc!
Say mo, Doc!
This show is brought to you by Laminine and Laminine Triple Omega Plus.
Welcome back to Say Mo Doc. Tulad po ng aming pinangako, pag-uusapan natin ngayong umaga ang isa sa mga problema ng ating lipunan, ang pagmamaltrato at pagpapabaya sa ating mga kabataan.
Hindi kaila sa karamihan ang talamak na paglabag sa mga karapatan ng mga kabataan. Kaya't sa sitwasyong ito, kinapanayam namin si Director Margarita Sampang, ang Director of Protective Services ng DSWD. Ano nga ba ang layunin ng DSWD?
Ang core mandate, Susan, ng departamento ay to provide services to the most vulnerable and the poor Filipinos, whether it be children, because we are serving the basic sector. Kung yung mahirap, yung vulnerable, happens to be a child, youth, older person, persons with disability, displaced families. Specifically now, ang dami nating disasters. So, ang mandato namin ay magbigay ng mga serbisyo.
Tinanong din namin kung ano ang mga karaniwang problemang pangkalusugan na kinakaharap ng mga kabataan.
Ang mga bata kasi, kaya nagkakasakit, hindi kumakain ng tamang pagkain. At then therefore, kailangan din talaga yan may check-up sa health. Actually, supportan natin ito sa Millennium Development Goals. Dalawang kondisyon nito, kailangan pagka nakasali ang pamilya, ang bata mag-aaral, papasok sa school. Ang bata at nanay pupunta ng health center. So ang kalusugan, isang major component.
Pero ayon sa DSWD, kung may mga problema, may mga solusyong inihanda ang pamahalaan upang kahit paano ay maibsan ang mga suliranin.
Kung ang local government unit ay wala siyang mga pasilidad, wala silang mga centers for children, then ang DSWD, meron tayo mga centers for children. At kunwari sa isang lugar, isang LGU na wala nga ganyan, kung merong bata na nakuha sila at talagang abuse ito, either physically or sexually abuse or whatever abuse. Kung wala ito, didiretso yan dun sa local social welfare officer at pag hindi nila kayang bigyan ng proteksyon, center-based protection, then kumukonect sila sa DSWD regional offices.
It is sad to know the plight of our youth.
Well, at least with DSWD, narinig natin, di ba, Miss Susan, Tita Maggie, kung ano ang mga pwedeng solusyon sa mga problema, and more importantly, what we as responsible citizens can do naman to help these young people, no?
Tama,
Ang ating mga kabataan.
Tama yun. I really agree that we should take responsibility and care for our own.
Yes, Tita Maggie. Pero alam nyo ba na may mga banyaga na daig pa minsan ang mga kababayan natin na mag-alaga sa mga kabataang napabayaan ng kanilang mga magulang. Ipakikilala po namin sa inyo sa pagbabalik ng Say Mo Doc!
Say mo, Doc!
This show is brought to you by Laminine and Laminine Triple Omega Plus.
Napatunayan po ng Say Mo Doc na ang pagmamahal at pagmamalasakit sa mga kabataan ay hindi nakikita sa lahi o kulay ng balat. Panoorin po natin.
Sa aming pagpunta sa Subic upang maghanap ng NGO na tumutulong sa mga pinabayaan bata, hindi naming inaasahan na ang aming makakadaop palad ay hindi Pilipino.
Actually, I came to the Philippines about 16 years ago in the Philippines, and I went to an orphanage in Subic, and that's where I worked for about 3 years. And then I noticed that no one was doing anything in the hospitals to help here, locally in Olongapo. The doctors were doing a wonderful job of diagnosing. The nurses were there and ready and willing to care for the patients, but the parents could not afford the medications. They couldn't afford the operations, and that was the problem then. No matter how well the doctors diagnosed, if no one could afford to buy the medication and the operation, the children would still die.
Absolutely.
And it absolutely broke my heart to see children dying in this day and age of diarrhea, asthma, and simple illnesses like that that were perfectly treatable. So I began helping Hands Healing Hearts Ministries. In 2001, we registered with SEC 2004 when we opened our first children's home. But actually, the reason we started it, and the reason we called it Helping Hands Healing Hearts, isn't for the sake of having a long, fancy name. But it's really because it is twofold. Helping Hands is the very practical side. That's where we buy the medications. We literally hands-on take care of the children and their families. And then the Healing Hearts side is the side that only the Lord can do.
Tinanong namin si Mama Claire kung ano ang nakikita niyang problema ng kabataan. Base daw sa kaniyang obserbasyon, kahirapan daw ang pinagsimulan ng lahat.
Because of poverty and because of circumstances, very often, even though they desire to help and they desire to care for their children and their families, because of lack of money, they just can't do it. That's where we step in. But Helping Hands, this recovery unit, we call it CRU, the Children's Recovery Unit, is a temporary shelter because our goal is to get the children well, back to full physical health, emotional health, spiritual health, and then reunite them with their families.
Sari-sari mga bata ang nire-rescue nila Mama Claire. Pero sa bandang huli, alam nila na kailangan ng mga bata ang isang pamilyang mag-aaruga sa mga ito.
He was left literally at the side of the road, still covered in blood, newborn. And so the children like that we don't have families to send them home to, we then take them into our orphanage or our children's home in Baguio City. And that way we can still get to provide a family for them until we're able to go through DSWD and get them a forever family. Alam mo siguro, wala kang ibigay or konti lang po yun, nahiya po ako magbigay. Pero hindi po, talagang malaking tulong
Kahit
sa
na
amin
konti
yun.
lang.
Kahit konti po lang yun, malaking tulong din yun. Kahit rice, diapers, milk, food, groceries, whatever nasa heart mo, or cash, anything.
At
Malaking
saka,
tulong din po
Mama
yun.
Claire, yung nakikita ko, kung ako yung nasa bata na nandito at nakita ko may darating na tumutulong, para bang hindi lang po sa mga bata na nakakapagpaligaya at nakakataba ng puso, di ba?
Talaga po.
Pati po dun sa mga empleyado dito o mga kasama nilang mga voluntaryo
Yeah.
na tumutulong,
Yeah.
para bang ang pakiramdam po na meron pa palang mga tao sa labas na ina-appreciate
That's
din
right.
at sumasama sa kamay namin na tumulong
Tama po.
sa amin. Hindi kami nag-iisa. So, dyan ho tayo magaling na Pilipino.
Totoo.
Bayanihan.
Nakakalungkot man isipin na may mga magulang na walang pusong iniwan ang kanilang mga anak. Masarap namang isipin na may mga taong kagaya ni Mama Claire Henderson na may malaking puso na kanyang magmahal sa kabataang Pilipino.
Yan ang tinatawag na unconditional love. Yung kaya nating mahalin ang isang tao na hindi natin kadugo o kalahi.
Saludo kami sa iyo, Claire, at sa Helping Hands and Healing Hearts. Nawa ay mas dumami ang inyong mga supporters at sana ni Susan at Maggie magkaroon din sila mas maraming donors.
Tama.
Oo.
Sana naman mas marami kayong matulungan with God's grace.
At syempre, hindi po makukomplete ang episode natin kung wala ang pediatrician na magpapaliwanag sa atin tungkol sa pag-aalaga at kalusugan ng mga bata. Sa pagbabalik ng
Say Mo, Doc!
Say mo, Doc!
This show is brought to you by Laminine and Laminine Triple Omega Plus.
Mula sa kwento natin kay Mama Claire ng Helping Hands, tayo naman ay makikipag-usap sa isang pediatrician.
Yes, meron silang sariling foundation that aims to take care of children as well.
Kinapanayam po namin ang isang pediatrician, si Dr. Evelyn Tantamco Gusi, para pag-usapan ang mga kinakaharap na problema ng mga abandoned children sa Anong Say Mo Doc.
These are very innocent. They are considered angels. And they need the tender, loving care of people. Not only of the pediatricians, but generally of everybody. And they should not be treated like that because they could only cry, they're just there to, very innocent, they are very trustful.
Ano nga ba ang psychological na epekto ng magulang sa mga anak?
How adults would treat the children would also depend partly on their history or their experiences in the previous life or as kids, no? And they tend to pass that those experiences unconsciously or subconsciously to the future.
At nang tinanong namin siya ukol sa kanyang mga obserbasyon tungkol sa sitwasyon ng mga kabataan ngayon,
Poverty is very rampant in our society. Then many people are pushed to the edge that they have to do something bad or not accepted by society just to make things meet, make ends meet. Those who are even parang less blessed, those who were born with disabilities and yung hindi magandang status ng society, mahihirap na, may disability pa, tapos ganyan pa yung setup sa pamilya because of the poverty, nag-aaway ang magulang, nakikita nasa squatters area, and ganun, ano. Ang tingin sa kanila ay mababa. Let's face it. Even among the people who are considered elite or in the upper segment of the society, kahit sabihin na natin we touch on the spiritual, pero kung titingnan mo sa pang-araw-araw na buhay, you look at them, there is still discrimination. I think God wanted me to deal with these little angels because we have to prepare them. They are the future of our country. That's what our the great hero, Dr. Jose Rizal, said.
isa pang doktor ang amin nakapanayam. Siya ay si Doktora Rhea Magalona. At ipinaliwanag naman niya sa amin ang tungkol sa tamang pag-aalaga sa mga bata.
Dapat merong regular immunization or vaccines yung mga bata. Katulad ngayon, may regulation yung DOH natin that 5 years and below dapat nabibigyan sila ng sapat na vaccine during kung ano yung edad nila that time para ma-prevent yung illness. Pagkapanganak pa lang, meron ng bakuna na binibigay yan. Yung kabilang dyan yung BCG, no? Para yan sa TB, and then yung pwede nang ibigay 12 hours after birth yung Hepa B. And then merong mga kasunod na schedule, no? Usually yung mga binibigay namin 2 months, 4 months, 6 months, yan na po yung diphtheria, pertussis, tetanus vaccine, and then meron kaming for the polio vaccine. Kasi ang Philippines, tinatawag ng polio-free country. So, iniingatan natin magkaroon uli ng occurrence ng polio. So, dapat sa mga ganong edad, meron ng bakuna. And then, yung measles at 9 months, binibigyan na. And then, after, during 15th month of the baby, binibigyan na ng MMR. So, dapat nasusunod yun. Kaya po, isang malaking responsibilidad yan ng gobyerno natin na at the barangay level, lahat ng bata na pupuntahan at nabibigyan ng kaukulang bakuna. Meron na tayong tinatawag na yung immediately at birth, sine-check na yan. Tapos meron usually after 4 weeks, then 6 months, 9 months, then 1 year. Kasi meron yung tinatawag na mga booster shots ng mga vaccine. Katulad din dyan sa mga sine-check ng doktor, no? Kasama na yung sa mga health center, yung growth and development ng bata. No? Kung yung timbang niya ba, yung haba niya ay naaayon dun sa edad niya kasi yung malnutrition isa rin yan sa problem ng ng Pilipinas. So, pag nakikita mo kung ano yung statistics nung bata, kung hindi maganda yung development niya, so pwede mo pang mahabol earlier pag habang may magagawa pa. Kasi kung too malnourished na ang bata, mahihirapan na, no? Magkakaroon na ng kung ano-anong sakit yan, madadala niya hanggang paglaki niya. Ang awareness or information campaign ng gobyerno. But I think the government is doing its part sa Department of Health through the barangay level, yung barangay health workers. So, ang kasunod na may responsibilidad niyan yung magulang, kasi kahit may programa ang gobyerno, kung hindi dinadala ng magulang yung mga bata dun sa health center, the program will be useless. So, ang ginawa yata ng gobyerno natin, our health workers, sila na yung mismong nagbabahay-bahay, no, para maibigay yung bukod sa bakuna, yung informasyon regarding din sa anong tamang kakainin ng mga bata. I think at the school level, sa mga paaralan, kasama na dyan yung feeding ng government. So, pag nakikita nila sa isang paaralan na merong batang malnourished, binibigyan nila ng pansin, no, kasi sinasama nila sa feeding program. So, magagawa natin ng paraan yan, tulong-tulong, no, yung mismong magulang, yung eskwelahan, yung gobyerno, at syempre yung ating mga health workers. Nakakaantig ng damdamin, no, yung may mga magulang palang gano'n na nakakagawa ng bata pero wala silang responsibilidad na palakihin. So, ang ginagawa nila, inaabandon na nila at binibigay yung responsibility ng pagpapalaki sa ibang tao. Buti na lang may mga katulad ng helping hands na sumasalo ng responsibilidad. Kung tutuusin po, no, hindi yung poverty kasi ang isa rin sa magiging root cause ng nagagawa yan ng mga magulang. Pero po, kung yung lahat-lahat tayo magtulong-tulong na para matulungan, lahat tayo ay magtutulungan para ma-address yung ganyang problema. Marami kasi tayo nakikitang batang palaboy, no? So, in our own way, we can help, no? Katulad yung mga foundations, yung mga orphanage, we can do our share as a doctor. We could give free medical check-up sa mga batang yun. Among all the doctors, they could do their share po, no?
I love the discussions we had today. Nakilala natin si Mama Claire ng Helping Hands and Healing Hearts.
Yes.
At nalaman natin yung kayang gawin ng DSWD to alleviate all the problems of the children.
At saka we also learned yung paano alagaan ng pedya yung mga bata na may nangangailangan, di ba, Miss Susan?
Tama.
Oo.
So mula sa isang issue ng kalusugan, tayo po ay nagkaroon ng mas malalim na pagdidiskusyon tungkol sa mga bagay na hindi naman dapat ipagwalang bahala.
Correct.
Lagi po natin tandaan, good health is priceless.
Kaya dapat laging alamin sa mga experts kung ano ang makakapagbuti sa ating kalusugan.
Hanggang sa muli, kami ang inyong partner sa Health and Wellness.
Say mo, Doc!